In pictures, joy at birth of baby elephant in Cambodia. Proud mother Jaipal has given birth to a female baby elephant named Kai Pitch in Mondulkiri. Construction of Kampot Tourism Port to complete in June. Once the construction is finished, Kampot Tourism Port will become an important gateway for national and international tourists. Cambodia's health digitalization, a more needful priority. A priority of the royal government of Cambodia is to digitalize the country's health sector, and the endeavor has become more needful in the context of COVID-19 containment toward a sustainable recovery. 11 from Cambodia tested positive for COVID-19 on arrival in Thailand. Thailand reported that 11 arrivals from Cambodia were among the 64 imported cases detected Tuesday. Wife beats husband to death after coconut throwing. A woman has been arrested for beating her husband to death with a stick after he repeatedly threw coconuts at her while drunk. Rain, thunderstorms, high winds forecast for Cambodia. The Ministry of Water Resources and Meteorology has issued a notification on the weather situation in Cambodia from today to April 5, 2022. Construction progress of new Siem Reap International Airport moving forward despite pandemic. The work for the planned new international airport in Siem Reap is progressing despite the setbacks of the COVID-19 pandemic and is more than 20% completed in its progress. NPI vital to reduce C-19 transmission and impact. Members of the public have been advised to strictly implement the non-pharmaceutical interventions, NPI, to reduce transmission rates and the impact of COVID-19, especially the rapid spread of Omicron in the community. Father charged for beating 2-year-old to death. A 56-year-old man was yesterday charged and jailed by Pursit Provincial Court for beating his 2-year-old daughter to death while drunk in Kandieng district last week. Fake Secretary of State charged and jailed. Phnom Penh Municipal Court yesterday charged and jailed a man for allegedly forging a sub-decree purportedly from Prime Minister Hun Sen which appointed him as a Secretary of State working with the Council of Ministers. Police officer in court for $300,000 fraud. A police officer appeared in court in Phnom Penh yesterday after defrauding 28 victims of $300,000 by promising them jobs in the police force. Growing reforms. Government takes Phase 2 of SNDD to next level. After successfully negotiating through unexpected hurdles, such as the COVID-19 pandemic, the government managed to implement the first 10-year phase of the Subnational Democratic Development (SNDD) from 2010 to 2020. New pre-COSAMAC Cambodia-China Friendship Medical Building starts operations in Cambodia. The Cambodia-China Friendship Medical Building, a key livelihood project shouldered by state-owned China State Construction Engineering Corporation, was officially put into use in Cambodia's capital Phnom Penh on March 21. 5 million more C-19 doses arrive from China. The first batch of 5 million doses out of the 1.5 million additional COVID-19 vaccines from China arrived at the Phnom Penh International Airport yesterday. Cambodia moves to curb COVID-19 spread during New Year festival. Cambodia has reinstated COVID-19 rapid testing for workers returning from Thailand, the Ministry of Health stated on March 29, a move to contain the spread of the new SARS-CoV-2 variants as the traditional New Year festival is nearing. Businesses warned against overpricing during Khmer New Year festival. The Ministry of Tourism has said it is working with officials to prevent overpricing at hotels and other facilities during the Khmer New Year next month. The ministry expressed concern over higher prices affecting both domestic and international visitors. 200 villagers seek Keng's intervention to solve land dispute with businessman. Some 200 villagers involved in a land dispute with businessman Heng Hai in Koh Kong province have sought the intervention of Interior Minister Sa Keng with the hope that he would help solve the issue fast. 14 million people Cambodia fully vaccinated with 2 doses of COVID-19 vaccine. Cambodia has successfully vaccinated 14,819,579 people with 1 dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. COVID-19 and dengue fever, identifying the difference in treatment regime. Guidance on telling the difference between dengue fever and COVID-19 was offered by the Queen Sirikit National Institute of Child Health on Monday. Woman administers shoe justice to boyfriend after unpaid debt. A woman decided to take the law into her own hands after her boyfriend refused to pay a debt in Phnom Penh. China remains as the leading supplier of COVID-19 vaccines for Cambodia. China is the leading supplier of vaccines against the COVID-19 pandemic for Cambodia, said Secretary of State at the Ministry of Health Drive. Yuok Sambath, while welcoming the arrival of China, donated over 1.5 million doses of Sinovac vaccine along with medical supplies for the vaccination work at Phnom Penh International Airport yesterday. Cambodian King Norodom Sihamoni hails President Xi's developmental vision. Chinese President Xi Jinping always puts the people at the center of his heart, said Cambodian King Norodom Sihamoni in an interview with People's Daily, after attending the opening ceremony of the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing at the invitation of Xi. New arrival of China donated jabs helps Cambodia's COVID-19 vaccination. A plane carrying another batch of China-donated Sinovac COVID-19 vaccine arrived in the capital of Cambodia on Tuesday amid the country's booster shots vaccination drive. Cambodia seeks more economic cooperation with OIF nations. Cambodia is seeking more economic, trade, and investment ties with Francophone nations, Prime Minister Hun Sen told visiting Secretary-General of the International Organization of La Francophonie, OIF, Louise Mashikuabo at a meeting yesterday. NEC approves CP candidates in Kampong Cham City. The National Election Committee, NEC, yesterday recognized Candlelight Party, CP's candidates in Kampong Cham City, but removed the names of CP and the candidates of Khmer Will Party in South May 3 Commune, Dawn Pen District, Phnom Penh. HIV patients urged not to discontinue taking medication. National AIDS Authority has warned of severe health issues if patients infected with HIV stopped taking medicines. Thai police seize unregistered C-19 test kits bound for Cambodia. 3 pickup cars loaded with Chinese-made rapid antigen test kits were seized by Thai police on Sunday as they headed to Cambodia through the border crossing in the eastern province of Sa Kaeo Province. Farmer's sentence over killing upheld. Phnom Penh Appeal Court yesterday upheld the 7-year jail term for a 45-year-old man for killing his wife in Kot Om district in Kandal province in 2017. Indonesia offers scholarships to Cambodian students. The Indonesian embassy in Cambodia has announced several scholarships to Cambodian students for a full-time medical postgraduate program at Universitas Gadjah Mada, in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. Eviction of 300 families from state land deemed legal. The Privahia Provincial Authority said that the eviction of 300 families in Privahia's Kulon district is legal because they had encroached and lived in the state land and had been issued with notices 3 times.